July 4th to August 8th, to August 9th, excuse me. Next year, it's going to be July 23rd, August 8th, 2021. Because the Olympics has now been postponed until 2021, you don't think the NHL is going to use those time slots and fill it up with hockey playoff games? I truly believe that's an option on the table right now for Gary Bettman, NHL commissioner, and for the NHL deputy commissioner as well. Those are options on the table. Those are definitely options on the table. Yeah, it may not be smart. I was talking about this with my dad and my Uncle Frank. But, yeah, it might be silly. But it's all about money. And I know the NHL and the NBA has also lost a ton of business. But at the same time, you got to try and get some money back. And NBC would be a great way for hockey to have games going on here in this situation. We will see how smart this is, and we will see what happens. And I know there are a couple April Fool's pranks yesterdays that they announced about when the NHL will return potentially. And they may say never for this year and have to wait till the fall of October 2020, not 2021. And I sure really hope not. I would be disgusted if that happened. And basketball for that matter too. So for baseball, this article I saw. It's possible they're going to start in June. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday. He sent me a text message. Basically thinks they're going to start in June without fans, and then July they will be back with fans. But then I was reading something that it might be possible that you might see baseball start opening day on July 4th. And personally, that would actually be poetic justice. For the sole reason of it being USA, USA, and us basically calming down the virus. We can also chant, USA, USA. That's right. The United States of America indeed. And then after this is all over, ladies and gentlemen, after the whole epidemic is over, let me just hope that the people that need to be taken care of need to be taken care of when it comes to all these sicknesses, and then we could deal with the other people who started this stuff later. And I'm not going to obviously get into it. So, back to baseball here. I think they're going to play. I can't see more. If they're going to start in June, it can't be more than 100. And my Uncle Frank, he thinks it's going to be no more than 75 to 80. But the question is, how many of these guys are up for doubleheaders, and how many of them are actually going to be thrown onto the schedule? I think that's going to be a very interesting situation to see. I'm curious. I'm so curious to see how this is all going to play out at the end of the day. With baseball, hockey, and basketball, and football, they plan on having all 16 games. That's what my Uncle Frank thinks. We've been discussing this. He thinks, and Roger Goodell is basically laying the hammer in this situation. Business as usual. We are not moving free agency. We are not moving the draft. Yes, OTAs and minicamp may have some sort of little delay, but we're still planning to start the season on time. The first Thursday kickoff is projected to be September 10th, and week 1 of the regular season is projected to begin, the first Sunday is projected to be on the 13th of December. Not December, September, excuse me. 13th of December. Oh boy, I hope not. I really hope not. I can't believe I just said that. Excuse me. The 13th of September. Much better on my part. So, that will be interesting to see. if the season does start on time, and the opening game is projected to be September 10th. But when September 10th rolls around and then that first Sunday, September 13th rolls around, everyone's going to be happy. Football's back. And the thing about the NFL this year is that the schedule is going to be out no later than May 9th. Because on May 9th, that's when everyone's going to be like, ooh, who we're playing? Who we open up week 1 against? Who the Kansas City Chiefs going to open up and raise the banner against? That's going to be, I'm curious to see who they are going to open up the season with. Not the banner, but raise the banner, but not open up the banner with. So it should be no later than May 9th. And speaking of changes this year to the NFL has officially announced, signed off on the new playoff format. 7 teams, AFC, NFC, 1 gets a bye. I like it. I really do. I think you have to earn that number 1 seed now. And yes, I think there's going to be more parity across the NFL because of this. We will see. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the new playoff format for football. They're now gonna instead of 2 wildcard games on Saturdays and Sundays, it's now gonna be 3. And one's gonna be on CBS, the extra one. And ladies and gentlemen, the other one is going to be on Nickelodeon simulcast. So, and someone came up across this, and someone actually commented on a status that I actually happened to be tagged in on Twitter about Nickelodeon having a playoff game, broadcasting the game. So, and someone came up. Do you remember the shows where people would get slimed? Do you all remember that? Where the loser gets slimed. So then someone comments, the loser of the game has to be slimed. Oh, I would so love that. That would be... I would be ecstatic if these guys got slimed after a playoff loss. So I wrote this down. And there were a few players that I would love to see get slimed. Quarterback Russell Wilson of the Seattle Seahawks. He's done Nickelodeon before. I would say Rob Gronkowski of the New England Patriots, but he's obviously retired. Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley of the New York Giants. Oh boy, I hope that never has to happen with Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, but they'd be good sports about it. I hope that never happens with them getting slimed. Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles would actually also be another interesting one here. Oh, here's another one. Le'Veon Bell of the New York Jets. Ben Roethlisberger of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs. Drew Brees of the New Orleans Saints. Let's see if I can figure out some other ones. Jimmy Garoppolo to San Francisco 49ers sounds like a good one. It really does. Jimmy Garoppolo sounds like a good one. Nonetheless. So, and then Tyreek Hill would also be a fun one on the Kansas City Chiefs. So, speaking of top tier teams in the NFL, after I basically discussed about the new playoff format, and with one extra team, there'll be one extra team in the playoffs this year, and they changed the format once again, and I really hope this is the last time they change the format, but maybe they go back to the 6-1, 6 teams only. We'll see how this goes within the, this is going to be a 10-year thing, 10, 11-year thing, with the new CBA. Maybe if it doesn't work out, maybe they go back to the 6. That's a long time from now. 20, 30, another 10, 11 years. That's tough. So then, speaking of, here are my top 10 NFL teams before the NFL draft. Number 10, Denver Broncos. I think they're locked and loaded for next season. Drew Lock is going to be in the second season. Will be ready to turn heads. Denver 3-1 in their last 4 games. I really think they're going to be so good next year. Number 9, Buffalo Bills. They're going to be dangerous next season. They're now going to be the favorites in the AFC East. With Tom Brady leaving the division, they're well coached by Sean McDermott. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. They need to draft some playmakers. Lost Jack Lost on defensive line, but they'll address that in the draft. Number 8, New Orleans Saints. The NFC South got a lot tougher for them, but because it got better, they're still going to be good. Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is the backup. Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Alvin Kamara. They could use another speed back or another power back. Number 7, this could maybe be Breeze's final year. Sean Payton, head coach of New Orleans, is hinting that. Number 7, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tom Brady on board means championship or bust moving forward. Chris Godwin, switched his number from 12 to 14 to give it to Brady. Tampa Bay, going to be really good. Mike Evans, they got to shore up a couple of things. At right tackle on the defense. Number 6, the Atlanta Falcons. They are now loaded in a tough AFC South division nonetheless. They have all 11 of their starters on offense are former first-round picks. You add Todd Gurley. I personally think he's going to rejuvenate himself in Atlanta, but I was on the phone with a friend the other night. He doesn't think so, because otherwise, why would the Los Angeles Rams released him? But as the NFL, as you say, NFL stands for not for long. So I think Gurley's going to be on a revenge tour year, and he basically returns to Atlanta basically because he played his college football at the University of Georgia. And they have Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, and Matt Ryan to round out the offense, which is going to be very dangerous this year. And they're going to make some changes on defense in the draft, and I think they're going to be really dangerous next year. Number 5, Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz, they were banged up last year. And I personally think they're going to run away with the NFC East this year. Washington Redskins are not good. Dallas Cowboys took a step back. New York Giants are going to be better. Question is, how much better did they get? Number 4, Tennessee Titans went to the AFC Championship game last year. Ryan Tannehill back for 4 years, $118 million. Franchise tag Derrick Henry. He's the heartbeat and the heart and soul of the Tennessee Titans. I mean, that Tennessee Titans team, they're a couple of pass rushers away from basically being Super Bowl champions last year. Number 3, San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo, and the Niners. Yes, I know we got a lot of criticism, but that's a run-first team and defense-first team. Number 2, Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, and the Ravens. Now they're maybe looking at Antonio Brown, Marquise Brown's cousin. And number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, really good. And the Chiefs are looking to defend as Super Bowl champions in this situation. So the Kansas City Chiefs, you have Tyreek Hill, Damian Williams, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. They got back to Demarcus Robinson for 1 year. The question is, will Sammy Watkins come back? Late first round, maybe they could address a corner, maybe get another safety for depth for Tyrann Mathieu and Juan Thornhill. I think corner's their biggest need. Chris Jones, really, really, really good defensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, he's really good. Why do you think they franchise tagged him? And personally, if you want to ask me something, I think they're going to have a long-term contract, but they better be careful how they do it because of Patrick Mahomes, because he's going to need to get paid. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to go, because Patrick Mahomes is the heartbeat and the heart and soul of that team. But I'm curious to see how this is all going to wind up. in the near future because Chris Jones, the heartbeat and the heart and soul of the defense on Kansas City. So now I'm going to transition before I continue with my top 10 list. I want to get into Pittsburgh Penguins head coach Mike Sullivan for speaking out the other day, and I was interested to see what he had to say. So this was the first time since the NHL season was put on pause that Mike Sullivan spoke to the media on a social media platform, on a Zoom call, video conference call. And so he's looking. I feel like he has a chance to win another cup for the first time since going back to 2015, 2016, and 2016, 2017. And so one of the things he said, we're doing lots of things as a family to pass time. We have a pool table in our house. We play pool with my son. That's what Sullivan said, how he's passing time. And he also mentioned about how Jay Gunsel is going to basically be back this year. Hopefully, we would be thrilled to have him. Jake is a difference maker. Well, he's 100%. He's a difference maker. Have him on the first line with Sidney Crosby and Jason Zucker. That's really dangerous. And that's if the NHL season ever resumes. Because those lines are going to be dangerous. You have what? Crosby, Gunsel, and Zucker on the first line. And Malkin and Rust and Hornquist. And then McCann. You have Jared McCann. Brandon Tanev. I don't remember what I wrote down in an article that I wrote the other day. But all I know is I would have guys like Dominique Simone scratched. And Evan Rodriguez scratched. And Zach Aston Reese scratched. That's how I tell you how deep it is. And they would also get, Nick Bukestad back. And I would hope maybe Jack Johnson on defense gets scratched. And then Sullivan praises his captain. Sid sets the standards. He sets the standard on and off the ice. And they talk twice a week. While Crosby, heartbeat and the heart and soul of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Really good. I love how Sullivan is in contact with the captain. He plans on having maybe team meetings starting next week sometime and get to catch up with his players and do things so when they get back, they could be ready to go. Which I think is one of the reasons why maybe, and I'm not sure how many coaches are doing this, maybe this is probably why Sullivan should be Jack Adams, which means the head coach of the year award in the NHL. Look at all the injuries that he had to deal with this year for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And he also said, Sullivan, I hope everyone is doing well. I never thought I'd say this, but I'm happy to be doing this today. That is self-quarantining. Safety of the players obviously comes first. Safety of family and friends. Basically, don't self-congregate during this time period. Ladies and gentlemen, that includes you, Lakewood, New Jersey, for basically not following orders. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're following orders and keep everyone safe. So, yeah. So, I hope everyone stays safe during this time. So, I'm going to go through maybe one more a top 10 list today on this show. And then I'm going to maybe save some more for next week and then in future weeks. Because until this hiatus is back, what else is there much to talk about? I'm just trying to be creative with you guys. I hope you, and forever who is listening to this right now, whether you're live right now or later, or you're going to be listening to this later, I truly appreciate you all being live during these tough times. As I have said, I love you all. And so here's my final list for today that I am going to get into right now. And that's the NBA top 10 players list. And I'm sure you all are going to have a tons of criticism for me. Number 10, Russell Westbrook of the Houston Rockets. Very explosive. He plays with a lot of heart and a lot of energy. But Russell Westbrook also has a case of doing a lot of bad things. You know he's going to provide energy. But he really disappears in the playoffs. Number 9, Damian Lillard of the Portland Trailblazers. I love Dame. Damian Lillard is a beast. Heartbeat and heart and soul of the Portland Trailblazers. Without him, the franchise means nothing. He tries to win a championship. Number 8, Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors. Yes, I know he hasn't played this year, ladies and gentlemen. But you know he's a top 10 player. He may be the greatest shooter ever in the NBA and NBA history. Always a great player. Number 7, Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers. Anthony Davis is... What do I say about Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis is one of the reasons why the Lakers are in potential striking distance for a championship, and that's why they're a number 1 seed. Anthony Davis basically forced his way out with the New Orleans Pelicans, and yeah, I know he didn't want to play with Zion Williamson, who will probably one day make the top 10 NBA players list, but isn't obviously going to make it today. Anthony Davis is basically a great defensive player, great rim protector, could shoot from the outside, get it in the down low post, have his back turned to the basket. Number 6, Kevin Durant. We are all going to realize next year, when he comes back for the Brooklyn Nets, how good Kevin Durant is. Because Kevin Durant could pull up from anywhere on the floor like a dime. Kevin Durant is a beast. And Kevin Durant is going to remind us all, and he's going to be on a mission, why he's a 2-time NBA Finals MVP, why he left Oklahoma City Thunder for the Golden State Warriors, and now he's going to try to do something like what LeBron did. LeBron won 2 championships in Miami, goes back to Cleveland and win 1, and that's what Kevin Durant is going to try and do here. Number 5, James Harden, Houston Rockets. James Harden knows his creative shot off the dribble, and James Harden knows how to shoot, draw fouls, get to the line. I've always been very skeptical of him about his defense, but it seems to be a little better in these kind of situations. Number 4, Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks. I think it should be the MVP this year because I think Dallas will be a lottery team without him because Doncic, the heartbeat and the heart and soul of the Dallas Mavericks. But the problem is they're not going to give it to him because they want to give it to LeBron James or they want to give it to Giannis Antetokounmpo. And that's how I feel about Doncic. Because Doncic, how can someone please explain to me? How does Luka Doncic have this team as a 7th seed, let alone having B and C players on a roster without an A talent? But my brother Jake always says to me, but the Kristaps Porzingis is an A player. And I'm like, is Kristaps Porzingis an A player? I don't know. But he could be back to one day. And that's why I like Luka Doncic over here, number 4. Number 3, LeBron James. Los Angeles Lakers. Great player. He's going to be one of the favorites to win MVP. Number 2, Giannis Antetokounmpo, heartbeat and heart and soul of the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis still needs to improve on the shooting. But, yeah, I think he's going to try and win a championship here. He's got to try and win a championship to put himself in good categories after losing the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And he's also a freak in nature. Number 1 on my list. And every one of you guys are about to think I'm crazy and off the wall. Kawhi Leonard, the number 1 NBA player right now, on my top 10 list. Let's see. Kawhi Leonard's beating LeBron in the finals at least once. Also beat Giannis last year. Kawhi Leonard was the reason why the Toronto Raptors won an NBA title last year. Had it not been for Leonard, they wouldn't have beaten the Sixers because the Sixers would have beaten them. Kawhi Leonard is a great player. And Kawhi Leonard, all he does is just be quiet and plays. He just does his job. That's what Leonard does. And I know the Lakers are the 2 seed, and yes, I know they're deep, and everyone's saying, oh, Leonard's got all the help around him just like he did in Toronto. The Toronto would not have won without Leonard last year. And this is the best chance the Clippers have because of Leonard. And Leonard is a great two-way player. And the stat I saw was that he wins 66% of his games in the postseason. Because Leonard, I think, is the best player in the world right now because of him shutting down Giannis and LeBron in the playoffs a lot of times. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of time here. Thanks for tuning in to Glenn's Dynamic Sports Corner. I am your host, Glenn Kaplan. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend as well. I'll be back on the air at the same time Monday. I'll also go over some potential NBA and NHL topics, some NFL draft topics, maybe, and some other potential NFL topics, so along with the MLB and maybe merchandise. I don't know. Maybe I should go order some right now. I'm not sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a good weekend. And I love you all. So take care and be well, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Thursday, April 2nd, 2020 episode of Pete's Power Plays, hosted by the one, the only, King of the Ice himself, Philly Pete. And we are live on 12 Ounce Sports Network and Zingo TV. This show, as usual, is sponsored by MyBookie. Make sure when you sign up for an account, make sure you use the promo code 12 Ounce Sports 12. OZ Sports, all one word, and you can be ready to roll when it comes to. Looks like we have some World Cup club friendlies today. I think we have 3 games on the menu for soccer. So those that want to reach out and bet on some soccer today, by all means, please do so. Also, esports are making a killing right now. So those that are interested in watching online video games, and you can bet when people are playing video games now, like FIFA or NBA 2K, so there's a lot of stuff you could do. Again, I can't believe it's at this time where we're betting on video games. So, but yes, those are esports are in there, and of course the lovely casino where the computer-generated dealer of blackjack will hit 9 out of 10 hands on 21. So, no, I'm just kidding. But hopefully, hopefully the casino can make you up some money on MyBookie as well. So, make sure you do that. Also, Seat Giant, when we do have our games come back to life, and I have some pretty decent news in the world of sports that I found out late last night that I wanted to speak upon with you guys. But with that, once sports do come in action, please make sure when buying the best seat in the house, please make sure you use Seat Giant as your destination for tickets. And lastly, Zingo TV. When signing up for an account with Zingo TV, please make sure you use the promo code 12ounce 12 OZ. Again, all one word. And you can be streaming all these live shows that we can fulfill with everyone's needs here with this continuance of the pandemic that we have going on. But like I said, 12 Ounce Sports Network has the best shows, and I'm glad that we can provide each and every one of them for you guys on Zingo TV, as well as yours truly, Pete's Power Plays. So, yesterday I had Gina come on the show with me. We discussed Parasite, our review, and the American Horror Story Apocalypse series. So, with further ado, Gina, welcome back again on our Thursday episode. How are you doing this morning, this afternoon?
I'm good. Happy Thursday, everyone.
Happy Thursday indeed. Thirsty Thursday. Tomorrow is my birthday, so Daddy's going to be partying up pretty good with my wife here. So that's all I need to do, and that's all we can do during these times right now. So, but with that being said, today's episode here, we are going to talk about WrestleMania. Too big for one show. They made it into 2 nights. Saturday and Sunday, both on the network. Again, as I mentioned the other day, I'm not sure if they're going to have it on any other channel. But if you have the network, they are obviously it's going to be on there. 2 nights. I believe it's going to be both nights are going to be 3 hours each. I believe starting at 6 o'clock on Saturday and then starting Sunday, same time as well. So 3 hours each on both nights with a total of 6 hours. I must say, when they have WrestleMania in one day, it's about an 8-hour show, which is unbelievable. I think last year started at 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And it ended at about 11 o'clock at night. So it was about 7 hours of wrestling, which, you get to a point where, it starts to get a little bit tiring watching wrestling for 7 hours straight. But I think what they're doing here is good. 3 hours each night, Saturday and Sunday, I believe, starting at 6 o'clock p.m. and 3 o'clock Pacific time is when they're going to start in the West Coast. So, but in very, very interesting news and great news for everybody that are in the world of sports. My news here from late last night here, I got a source saying that NBA estimated start date will be June 14th. June 14th is the estimated start date for the NBA to restart, so that is fantastic news. NHL, so Pete's Power Plays could get back in the action with his clients and his Twitter plays in general. NHL startup date estimated June 15th. And lastly, MLB opening day, June 16th. These are all estimations, nothing set in stone, but per a source here, I believe is Action Network that I had late last night, I received a text in regards to when they would be estimated to start up. So, as I repeat, NBA, June 14th, NHL, June 15th, MLB opening day, June 16th. Notable sides, MLS, May 10th, which we knew was an estimated time to start. PGA Tour, May 21st. Again, these are all estimates. NFL Draft is set, we know that, for April 23rd to the 25th. And USC, estimated April 18th. So that's going to be starting up in the next 2 weeks. So these are fantastic, fantastic dates. I know we have 2 months, but we can get through this. And these are just estimates, so we're not 100% sure, but just based on what I'm seeing here, this is great news, and hopefully we do see our main sports in the middle of June, and I'm more interested to see if they start playoffs or they start up with the rest of the season. Only time will tell. So middle of June, expect an estimated sports to be back on TV. This is fantastic news for all. I know I got a little bit excited when I saw this last night, but I just wanted to share that with everyone out there and those that are tuning into the show today. So here we are, WrestleMania, the hottest event of all time. They basically call it the Super Bowl of wrestling. It basically marks the end of the season of wrestling, and then usually on Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania is the start of the new season of wrestling, which is always good. Raws and SmackDowns after WrestleMania is usually just as big as WrestleMania in general. A lot of surprises too, so be aware for that. So WrestleMania 36 was supposed to be at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Unfortunately, with the coronavirus, we no longer have that. And they pre-taped WrestleMania already, I believe, last week before Orlando was shut down in terms of anything building-wise, non-essential workers, yada yada. Everything was been shut down. So they taped everything last week. And honestly, we're not sure when the next time we're going to see wrestling. And to be honest, the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania, I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. So we're just going to take WrestleMania and cherish that one, as we are not sure when the next time we're going to see any sort of wrestling in general. Maybe besides AEW, because AEW had a live taping last night in an undisclosed area, so they're continuing their ways. But Raw and SmackDown, just be on the lookout for no upcoming events in general because everything has been shut down. So here we are. A big name, Gina, Roman Reigns, not participating.
I
And
heard.
so, what do you think about that? Roman Reigns not participating. We know his illness with his basically with his leukemia in his lifetime, and now he wants to back out because of the pandemic going on. How does that represent not only wrestling but him as being sick? It definitely helps out the cause.
Well, as a fan, obviously I'm disappointed, but as a healthcare worker, I think it was a very smart idea. So he doesn't want to take any chances. His immune system's already compromised, so I think that was the best move for him.
I agree. I agree there big time, and just for the sake of his family too, because he has kids. He's married, obviously, and I think for the sake of everybody, I think this is the easy way out. So, Braun Strowman
I'm excited for
is
that.
filling in for Roman Reigns for the belt against Goldberg. What do you think about Braun stepping in? I know you're a big fan of
I
Braun.
am. I'm a very big fan of Braun. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Really. They're both ginormous men. I'm really hoping that Braun wins. I think he will.
Yeah.
I think he will.
Yeah. I think that Braun has been overdue for a title.
Mm-hmm.
He did drop the Intercontinental, so this to me just makes me think that maybe he does win and, he fights Roman. Maybe we'll see a bad side of Braun as a heel. I'm not sure. I just think that if he is to win, I think Braun facing Roman would be a nice battle. I'm getting tired of. I do like seeing Goldberg, but you're old, man. Like, just give it up, buddy. You only show up once a year, just like the Undertaker. But
yeah,
But all right. So you like Braun there?
I do.
I think I'm going to go ahead and take Braun as well in an upset here. I think a lot of people are mentioning that Goldberg versus Roman will happen sometime down the line, but again, we're not sure when everything's going to reopen up. So I just think that this was supposed to be Roman's belt. I think Roman was supposed to win this and then probably fight Braun in the near future. But I think if Braun's going to win this, then him versus Roman in the future would probably be a nice setup as well. So we shall see what happens. What else? And so here we are. We have a bunch of 16 matches. First one, let's talk about The Undertaker versus AJ Styles in the Boneyard match.
Okay.
What do you think about that one?
I'm excited to see The Undertaker because, let's face it, he's a legend.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see that match. I would love for The Undertaker to win, but I don't think he will. I think it's going to be AJ Styles. And I don't like AJ. I don't like him. I think he needs a hair tie, first of all. And that really drives me crazy. Every time he comes on, I want him to put his hair back in a ponytail or something. It's a girl thing. You won't understand. It's just annoying.
Yeah, I think that with all the crap talking between them both, Undertaker cut a nice segment promo on the match, basically, and how he's going to rest in peace. Undertaker is, I believe, 22-1 in WrestleManias.
Wow.
I could be wrong there, maybe 23-1, but and his only loss was a couple years ago against Brock Lesnar. He was undefeated, and he finally lost a match. But I think this one here, I gotta give it to Taker. I just think that this is his sort of match. AJ Styles basically talked about his wife and Michelle McCool and giving him a little jab about her and how we'll keep it G-rated here, but a little bit under the radar talking of AJ about Undertaker's wife, and you don't want to talk about your opponent's wife. So I just think Taker, this is his sort of match. We know his success in WrestleMania, and I do truly think that Taker does win this bout against AJ Styles. And we just talked about Braun and Goldberg. Next up, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt against John Cena in a Firefly Funhouse match. What do you think about that, Gina?
Well, it's nice to see The Fiend actually fighting, because I'm getting a little tired of his promos. I mean, I think he's wrestled a total of 5 matches since they started. It's getting annoying.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that match. That's a tough one. I mean, I hope John Cena wins, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I just think that I agree. I love Bray Wyatt's promos with the Firefly Funhouse. I think that's the only reason why that he makes SmackDown good because.
But he doesn't fight.
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to get into that. But Bray Wyatt, Bray Wyatt, he's just more of a promo guy than a wrestler to me. And like Gina said, he's been fighting like 4 or 5 matches, and he's just boring. Fighting in the red lights. I mean, he can't see anything.
I didn't like that either.
Yeah, and that's not what you're supposed to be doing for a wrestling. And I know a lot of people, and a lot of analysts as well, did not like the red lights big time. So they finally changed it. But I think Wyatt's more of a promo guy than a fighter at this point. He's getting boring to me as a fighter. The fans are dozing off and sleeping while he fights. He again, another reason why Vince ruins characters. And here we are again. They try to rebuild Bray Wyatt's character, and unfortunately, it's not working again. But for this reason, I'm taking John Cena. I'm a hardcore John Cena fan. I have about 5 John Cena shirts, and I just love everything about John Cena. Hate him or love him. He's just a legend. He does everything when it comes from, being a champ and to basically making a Wish Foundation sort of guy as well, making little kids' dreams come true. Kids that are physically disabled, he goes and visits them. He does a lot for WWE and for the fans in general. Let alone the world. So he's a big guy now, big wig. Big wig. He does a lot of commercials now and movies, as we've seen. But I just think that when he comes back here, I think we're going to see a John Cena victory here. Bray just does not cut it for me whatsoever. Especially losing the belt to Goldberg at Super Showdown. It's like, where are they going to take his character? So John Cena for me all the way, just like Gina said as well. And we'll move on from there. The next WWE Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre. Gina, what do you think?
Drew McIntyre all the way.
Explain.
I don't like Brock Lesnar's character. I mean, he's the bully, and I don't like it. I'm his hype man, Paul. I don't know. Brock Lesnar reminds me of, that jock that you knew who's like, I lift things up and put them down, and that's the extent of his everything. So basically. I don't particularly like it. I think he's a great athlete. I think he's very talented. He's very strong. But I think that's it. That's all he has going for him.
Yeah,
I don't know if he even has that many fans. I don't know. I mean, he's great. He really, don't get me wrong, I have respect for his talent, but I hope Drew McIntyre just wins it all.
So, ladies and gentlemen out there, Gina is a huge Drew McIntyre fan, and I think he takes this one because Brock Lesnar is no longer going to win and hold the title anymore. I just think that it's time for a change. Everyone's getting tired of Brock. He's a great heel. I love Brock Lesnar, but I just think that something is going on. I think behind the scenes with Paul Heyman. I feel like something might happen with him. Maybe he'll be Drew McIntyre's, his sidekick. I'm feeling a little bit of a little dark horse in the match. I think I'm going to go take a limb here and say that Heyman interferes somehow with Brock and Drew becomes the new champ. I expect a ton of Claymore kicks. I expect a lot of F5s too. We know Brock is not only a UFC fighter as we've seen in the past, but I just think that he only has 2 moves. And let's be honest here, you're not going to pick up Drew McIntyre. He's a big boy. So I think Drew is going to be crowned your new champ. I think a few Claymore kicks will do it. And again, a little side note, baby turn, I think Paul Heyman does represent Drew McIntyre. But again, I could be wrong, but just how I feel. So Drew is going to be crowned WWE champion. Here we are, Edge versus Randy Orton, last man standing match. Now, before I get into this one, there's been a lot of speculation of Edge not doing this match, but they went on with it. Again, it's all pre-taped. I have no idea what's going on, and nobody else knows what's going on. But they kept this match on. Randy was not happy, obviously, with the fans not having fans, but this is what happens nowadays when you go through a pandemic. So, what do you think about Edge versus Randy Orton?
I like Edge to win.
Yeah.
I hope he does. I'm sick of Randy Orton.
Yeah, I think I agree. I like Edge there as well. I just think that Randy Orton's been destroying his life and basically RKOing his wife, Beth Phoenix.
Yeah, that's
we saw in a couple of Raws ago. He's been apologizing to the fans when we had live audiences. But I think that one RKO too many for Edge. I just think Edge coming back and everything. He's due for a big win here, and being in the Final Four of Rumble, I think this is a nice momentum burst for Edge here. We haven't seen him in a while, but I think he does take out Randy Orton here, and he is the last man standing. Edge, you are the winner. All right, G, here we go. The Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. What is your insight here?
I want Becky to win, but I don't think she's going to.
Yeah.
Because of the whole we discussed before about her and Seth Rollins getting married.
Yes.
Which I'm okay for a loss for that.
Yeah. And I agree as well. I think Becky and Seth after this they're going to get married. They're going to finish up, take care of their vows. They'll probably get away as well. So I mentioned this before on the show, maybe even a couple of shows back time. Becky and Seth were expected to take a leave of absence from WWE at least a month to get married, enjoy their honeymoon, and all that good stuff. And to me, I think Shayna Baszler is going to win the belt here. She dominated. She dominated the Elimination Chamber.
Mm-hmm.
That match took like 10 minutes, and she's a beast. She is a woman beast, and I think she's going to beat Becky. And I think Becky has the fans already. She doesn't need the belt. She does not need the belt. Just like Finn Balor,
That's true.
all the fans love her, love him, and all the fans love Becky regardless. So I think that Shayna is going to win this here. Next up, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte for the NXT Women's Championship. What do you think?
I like Rhea Ripley. I think she's a good opponent for Charlotte.
Yeah.
I think she'll win.
Yeah.
I think she will. Yeah.
I think Rhea Ripley retains. I think this is just a way for WWE to say, hey, we don't have anything to do with Charlotte. They didn't want to Bayley versus Charlotte again. So, this was the way to go. I think Rhea does retain because Charlotte she's on the main roster. There's no need to, if she's going to win, she's going to have to go back down to NXT. There's no need for that. And SmackDown would be losing a key asset in Charlotte Flair if she were to win and then drop back down to NXT. So to me, I agree. I think Rhea Ripley
it doesn't make sense for Charlotte to win.
Exactly. And what Gina said is correct. And I think Rhea Ripley retains. And moving on, we have a 5-way bout for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bayley versus Naomi versus Tamina versus Lacey Evans versus Sasha Banks. G, what do you think?
I want Lacey to win.
Lacey Evans, you heard it here first. Gina is a big fan. She used to explain.
Well, when they kept doing her promos, that she would just come in randomly throughout matches, I was very annoyed.
Yeah.
But then after seeing her fight, seeing her story, her being so passionate, she was, she's a former Marine, so she did fight for our country. I'm Team Lacey.
Yeah,
and I'm very much over Bayley and Sasha.
Yeah, I think I like where Gina stands there. A good babyface victory, and to get the belt. I'm gonna take a different route here. I'm gonna stay on the heel side, and I'm gonna say Sasha Banks.
You think she's gonna turn on Bayley?
I think Sasha turns baby at this point because they've had issues in the past when they were good and bad, but now that they're both bad, I think Sasha beats Bayley for the belt, and I think they have a feud of their own then. Sasha and Bailey, and they start feuding with each other because they're supposed to be best friends. The top of the cream of the crop, top 2 women heels in SmackDown that could take control of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is when Sasha goes babyface and I think wins the title, and I think she pins Bailey. To be honest with you,
if Sasha pins Bailey, Bailey will self-destruct.
Yep.
I believe that. She will lose her stuff.
I think so
Big
too.
time.
Yep, I agree.
If you're right, Philly Pete.
Yeah, we'll see. But I'm going Sasha. Gina's going Lacey. I do like Lacey too. I think she's a great person. She was in the military. I'm big on military and the Marines myself. But I think that when everything's said and done, I think Sasha takes the belt. But again, if Lacey wins, hey, kudos to Gina, and hey, kudos to Lacey, because I'm a big fan of hers as well. So we'll see what happens in that one. Next up, Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. I'm going to be flat out honest here. I think Kevin Owens wins this match here. Seth Rollins had the last Raw before Mania with a little curb stomp at the end, and we know where Seth Rollins is doing. I mean, it's all far-fetched. We know he's going to be away with Becky Lynch. KO is my winner here. Gina, she's a big KO fan, so take it away.
I would love to see KO to win, and I think he will because of what you just said about them going off and getting married. And I love KO's intro music.
I was just about to mention to you, ladies and gentlemen, Gina loves Kevin Owens' intro.
Pete and I contemplated at our wedding to be coming out to KO music. It was either that, KO's intro music, or the song that we picked.
Yeah, this is very true. It's very true. We're going to come out to KO's intro because that's how much we love it. But Gina's on the Kevin Owens train as well. So is Philly Pete. We move on. We have a couple minutes left here. Real quick, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. What do you think?
I hope Aleister Black wins.
Yeah, I'm right with you there. Aleister was supposed to fight somebody else, but they backed out, and Bobby Lashley all of a sudden went in with it. I'm not really sure. It was just, again, a lot of people are backing out last minute for the virus going on, so there wasn't much of a build-up to this. Bobby was just put in there, but I'm going with Aleister Black with a nice black mass to end the match there. Moving on, Elias versus King Corbin.
Snooze fest.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to win?
Elias versus King Corbin. I think that King Corbin will win. I think he'll cheat. He'll have somebody come out to help him, and then it'll be the same show.
Yeah, I agree. I think King Corbin's going to win as well. I'm getting tired of it. This is probably going to be the most boring match out of everything, basically what I'm looking at here. But I'm going Corbin as well. Next up, Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan for the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh, Daniel Bryan's going to win.
Yeah. Sami Zayn just, he beat, well, actually it was a triple. It was Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan and for the belt, and Sami Zayn pinned Daniel Bryan. This makes no sense to me. Sami Zayn hasn't fought in who knows how long. I think Daniel Bryan wins this no-brainer unless if there's some sort of interference. This could even be like a disqualification to me, and Sami Zayn retains because that's how WWE
that would
has
be
been.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, especially for WrestleMania. But just give it to Daniel Bryan just to end it everything. Real quick, Street Profits versus, well, Andrade we know is hurt, so it's going to be Austin Theory that we saw, and Angel Garza. I think Street Profits are going to retain. What do you think?
I would like to see them win as well.
Yeah, I just think it's too early. I mean, Austin Theory was just brought up from NXT. They don't have what it takes here. If it was Andrade and Angel Garza, it'd be something different.
Yeah.
But Street Profits hang on here. I love who they are. I love that team in general. I think they are fun to watch. Next up, Kabuki Warriors versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross for the Women's Tag Team Championship.
I would like to see Alexa and Nikki win.
Me too. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, they're good. Alexa is my favorite diva. I love her. And
yes, you do.
It's true. And based
Dark
off...
Horse by
and
Peter
based off...
Perry, featuring Juicy J on Amazon Music.
Sorry about that. So lastly, I think, well, we know that Kairi Sane, she just got married. She just got shipped back to Japan to get married. So as you've seen in the past, it's been all Asuka. You see no Kairi Sane the last couple episodes. So she, per sources from what I read, is that she just got married. I think she's going to take a break. So you haven't seen her. So to me, it's a little bit far-fetched. I do think Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross get the belts back from the Kabuki Warriors, and you'll see a lot of Asuka on her own for the next month or so. It also looks like it also appears that Kairi is trying to explore her options elsewhere from the WWE.
Oh,
so
wow.
look out for AEW as well for her to be in the mix as well. Otis versus Dolph Ziggler.
I would love to see Otis win.
Yeah.
That was just the hype for the whole Valentine's Day thing.
Yeah.
That was just really hyped up. It was a big disappointment. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and I agree. I think Otis wins this.
Otis needs to put this to bed, and that's it.
Yeah, they gotta stop with this. It's getting annoying. Dolph is just at the point where he's at the end of his career. You know, he just never made it. I used to like him, but now he's in like a mid card C plus B minus cards now, fighting against Otis. But I think Otis wins this match here, and we'll see where Mandy Rose goes from there. So, and then lastly, Miz and Morrison versus Usos versus New Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship ladder match. What do you think?
I would like to see either the New Day or the Usos. I'd be happy with either one.
I agree, and I think with what Miz is going through right now, he has an unknown illness going on. This is why I think they're going to lose the belts. I think the Usos win this match here. As much as I love the New Day, but I think the Usos win this. And, again, there's no update on The Miz. I was trying to get that for you guys, but it appears it's still unknown illness. A lot of people are speculating he has the coronavirus, which is why a lot of more wrestlers are starting to back out now. But again,
he's got 2 little kids,
and he has
too.
2 kids, and he's married to Maurice. So, wishes out there, Miz. I hope you're feeling better, and hopefully it's not the coronavirus. Well, it is, but hopefully you could get through this sooner than later. We're all thinking about you, and that basically wraps up the week and the show of Peace Power Play, hosted by Philly Pete. Gina, thank you so much for coming in again. Anything else you want to say to the fans?
Just wanted to say thank you, everybody, and have a great weekend. And Pete, happy birthday tomorrow.
Thank you so much, G. I love you very much.
Love you.
And I hope everyone stays safe, stay sanitized, have a great weekend. Happy WrestleMania, and talk to you guys again on Tuesday. Have a great weekend again, and take care. Bye-bye.